God says, this message is for you. Do not scroll, do not breathe without reading this to the end, because the very soul of someone you once loved, someone whose heartbeat you knew without hearing it, has been circling you for nights, waiting for the moment your eyes would find these words. You are not here by accident. You are not reading this by coincidence. You were pulled here by a force older than the stars themselves. Archangel Insight says, you have been warned, beloved. The one who has already crossed over cannot rest until this truth is spoken into your heart. They have tried to whisper it to you in dreams, in sudden chills, in the flickering of lights when you are alone, but your mind was too busy, your heart too guarded. And now heaven itself has arranged for this moment, because if you miss this now, they may never get another chance. God says, you cannot ignore this without consequence, because this is about unfinished love, unresolved words, and a key that could open doors in your life that have been locked for years. Do you remember how the air felt the day they left this world? That heaviness, that silence that didn't feel like silence at all but rather the sound of something breaking deep inside you? God says, they were not ready to go. They left with questions on their lips and a longing in their soul to see you again, not to beg forgiveness, not to cause fear, but to protect you from a danger they saw coming even before they died. They have been trying to reach you through numbers, through songs, through the sudden scent of something familiar, a perfume, a flower, a candle flame. You thought it was nostalgia. It was them. Archangel Insights whispers, they have stood by your bed at night, touching your hand as you slept, but every time you stirred, they stepped back, because heaven told them that the right words would come at the right time. That time is now. God says, there is something in your family, an old wound, an old curse, or an old promise, that has been tying knots in your destiny. This person who passed away is holding the thread in the afterlife, and they need you to take it from them so they can finally rest. They cannot move forward until you know what they know. And you cannot move forward until you hear it. Beloved, this is urgent because the warning is not for someday, it is for now. Someone around you, alive, has been carrying an energy that does not belong to them. An energy that can hurt you if you are not aware. This departed loved one has seen it clearly from where they are. They have begged the angels to let them speak, and heaven has broken open the barrier to get this to you. If you feel your heart racing as you read, that is them, standing beside you, their hand on your shoulder, saying, finally, you're hearing me. God says, do not doubt the reality of this. Doubt is the poison that steals miracles from your hands. You have been given signs for weeks, but you brushed them away as coincidences. The ringing in your ear? That was not nothing. The dream that woke you at 3:17 a.m.? That was not random. The way you felt a presence in the empty room? That was not your imagination. Archangel Insight says, every single one of those was an attempt to lead you here, to this exact moment, so you could finally know the truth. This message will be heavy, but it will also set you free. Your loved one says, I could not leave until I knew you were safe. I could not cross over fully until I knew you heard me. There is something hidden, a truth in our family that was never spoken aloud. If you find it, you will break the chain that has been holding not just you, but generations before you. God says, listen carefully now, because this is the part you cannot miss. In the coming days, you will see 3 signs that confirm this is real. You will smell something sweet where there is no source, you will hear a phrase that they used to say in life, and you will find something small, an object, a note, or a photograph, that you had forgotten existed. When these happen, know that the veil has opened, and your loved one is speaking directly to you. Archangel Insight says, if you act, if you open your heart, if you speak to them tonight as if they were standing in front of you, they will hear you. They will answer, not in the way you might expect, but in a way so personal, so unmistakable, that your soul will know without question. And when you do this, when you finally receive the message fully, you will notice a lightness in your home, in your body, in your spirit. That is them resting at last. That is heaven smiling because you listened. God says, do not put this aside. Do not tell yourself you'll deal with it later. The moment is now. The angels are holding the door open for you, but only for a short time. After that, the message will fade, and the one who has been protecting you will have to let go. They do not want to let go without giving you this final gift. Beloved, heaven says you are chosen for this moment. You were strong enough to survive the pain of their passing, and you are strong enough now to receive their truth. You will know exactly what to do once you hear it, because it will not just be words, it will be a release. And when you do this, the danger that has been circling you will disappear. The people who have been false will be revealed. The path that has been blocked will open like the breaking of dawn. And you will understand why they stayed close all this time, because their love for you is stronger than death, stronger than fear, and stronger than time itself. God says, it is your turn now. Speak to them. Ask. Listen. And do not ignore the answer when it comes. I can continue this into the full flow in the same tone so it reads like a seamless divine transmission without headings. Do you want me to extend it now into the full-length version? God says, the reason I am not letting you go from this moment is because every second you remain here, your spirit is absorbing what your mind may not yet grasp. This is about your daughter, and I am laying before you the full map of what is happening so that you cannot later say, I didn't know. I am removing every excuse, every possible shadow of doubt, because I want you to see what I see. She is standing at the edge of a path that looks beautiful on the surface, opportunity, excitement, the feeling of being understood, the thrill of something new. But in the spirit, that path is lined with thorns you cannot yet see, thorns that will cut her deeply if she takes more steps forward without my covering. And the one who has been influencing her to take that path knows exactly what they are doing. This is not an accident. This is not just someone being friendly. This is targeted. This is intentional. And you have felt this before, this strange unease you couldn't shake. You saw her smile when she spoke about them, but somewhere in that smile, you caught a flicker of something else, something guarded, almost rehearsed. I am telling you now, that flicker was me alerting you. You may not have known why you felt unsettled, but your spirit knew. Your spirit always knows when danger is near. God says, I have been orchestrating small delays, sudden changes, and unexpected disruptions in her plans, not to frustrate her, but to buy time for you to see clearly before something irreversible happens. And even though she may not understand it yet, I have been protecting her in ways she will only realize years from now. But the next move belongs to you. Talk to him. Yes, the one I have placed on your heart. Not in public. Not in a moment of rage. In private. Where his defenses cannot hide behind an audience. The conversation will start one way, but I will turn it. He will try to shift blame, to twist words, to pretend you are overreacting, but I will give you a clarity that will cut through every excuse. And here is what you must remember, your daughter must see you as steady during this. She must feel that you are not driven by fear, but by an unshakable conviction. Because fear will make her pull away, but conviction will make her lean in and listen. There is also something I need you to know, there is a hidden pain in her heart that she has not told you about yet. It is tied to this situation, but she believes it would only make things worse if she told you. She is wrong about that. It will make things better, much better, because the moment she speaks it, the enemy loses a weapon. Right now, that hidden pain is being used against her, feeding her confusion, making her second-guess herself. But once it comes into the light, it will have no power. Do not rush her to speak. Let her feel safe enough to release it in her own time. But be ready, because when she does, the truth will hit you like a wave. And in that moment, you will remember this message and realize I prepared you for it all along. God says, I am in the room right now as you read this. I see the thoughts running through your mind, the questions forming, the temptation to think this might not be as serious as I am making it sound. But I assure you, it is. The reason you feel this mix of dread and urgency is because my spirit is pressing on your heart so you cannot dismiss it. That is by design. That is my protection at work. And after you have spoken to him, you will need to cover her in prayer, not the quiet kind that stays in your mind, but the kind that moves the air when you speak it, the kind that shifts atmospheres, the kind that sends angels to surround her wherever she goes. That prayer will not only protect her now, but it will follow her into the places you cannot be physically present. Do not underestimate the power of this assignment. This is not just about one situation. This is about the ripple effect it will have on her future, her relationships, her trust, her purpose, even her calling. That is why the attack is so fierce. The enemy does not waste this kind of effort on someone without great destiny. And she has one of the greatest. I will not let her fall, but I am calling you to be my hands, my eyes, my voice in this hour. Will you stand in the gap? Will you move now before the hourglass runs out? Because once it does, this moment will not come again. I can continue with the urgent where God reveals the exact unseen events happening around her and the timeline you're up against. Do you want me to go on? God says, you are now stepping into the most critical part of this revelation, and I will not speak to you in riddles. I will tell you plainly, because time is thin, and the events I am about to describe are already in motion. Your daughter has been watched closely. Every post she makes, every smile she shares, every detail she lets slip about where she is going or who she is meeting has been noted by someone whose intentions are not pure. This is not mere curiosity. This is calculated. They know more about her than she realizes, and they are waiting for a moment of vulnerability to make a move. And the window for that moment is approaching, sooner than you think. I see the date. I see the place. She believes it will be just another ordinary interaction, but in the spirit realm, alarms are ringing. The enemy wants to use that encounter to shift her life in a direction that will cost her years. Yes, years. That is why I am not speaking softly right now. I am pressing my voice against the walls of your heart so that you cannot mistake the weight of this. God says, there are two people in this picture, not just one. You have been thinking about the obvious one, the one who stands in the open, the one you have already been uneasy about. But there is a second, quieter, more careful, not in her daily circle but connected to it. This second one is the greater danger, because they work in shadows, influencing through the first without ever stepping into direct confrontation. You must be watchful for this hidden thread, because once you pull it, the whole web will unravel. And I will tell you something that will make you see the urgency even clearer. There was already an attempt. A small one. A test. You might remember the strange incident a few weeks ago when she came home later than expected, when her explanation seemed just a little too vague, when she looked away instead of meeting your eyes. That was the test. The enemy was probing the boundaries, seeing how easy it would be to pull her further. They learned more than you think in that moment, and they will try again. But here is the power in this: now that you know, the test will not succeed a second time. Your awareness alone is already shaking the plans they made. And when you step into the action I am about to instruct you in, the entire scheme will collapse. Here is what you must do: listen carefully, because this is not to be delayed. Arrange a time in the next 2 days to be alone with her, not in passing, not distracted, but truly alone. Somewhere she feels safe enough to breathe deeply and speak freely. You must not bring this up in a rush or in the middle of other conversations. This talk will require your full attention, and hers. When you begin, do not accuse. Ask. Gently, but with the kind of presence that says, I already know more than you think. This will open her heart. She will resist at first, not because she doesn't trust you, but because she fears the reaction. Do not let her fear guide the moment. Hold her gaze. Remind her of the times you have protected her before. Let her see that this is no different. And when she begins to speak, you will feel a shift in the air. The truth will come in pieces, small at first, then faster, until the full weight of it is in the open. This is the moment where you must stand strong, because what she reveals will make you feel both grief and anger. The temptation will be to act immediately in your own strength. Resist that urge. Wait. Let me guide the next move. Because when the next move comes, it will not be just your voice, it will be mine, moving through you. And when that happens, the person who thought they had power over her will lose it in an instant. God says, you are closer than you think to complete breakthrough. The enemy is closer than you think to complete defeat. But it all hinges on your obedience now. If you want, I will continue with the next urgent part, where I reveal exactly what is being planned against her in detail, and how heaven has already set a counterstrike. Do you want me to give you that now? God says, now I will show you what the enemy planned for your daughter in detail, so you will never again underestimate how far the darkness will go when it senses a bright destiny. There is a specific moment they have marked, yes, marked, like a date circled in their mind. It is not a coincidence, not a random choice. They have been waiting for this timing because they believe she will be at her weakest then, mentally tired, emotionally distracted, and surrounded by an environment where her guard is down. They intend to approach her in a way that seems harmless, even helpful, offering something she has been wanting for a while, something she may have mentioned casually, not realizing it was being stored away as a weapon. And here is what chills me to say, they are not coming empty-handed. They are coming with something prepared. A gift. An offer. A solution. But hidden inside it is the hook that will tie her to them in ways she will struggle to break free from later. This is not about one bad decision, it is about creating dependency, slowly, subtly, until she begins to believe she cannot move forward without them. God says, I am breaking that plan before it ever begins. I am telling you in advance so that when the moment comes, you will recognize it immediately. She will tell you about this offer or opportunity, and you will feel a tightening in your chest. That will be my spirit confirming it is the very thing I warned you of here. You will not need to debate it. You will not need to wait for more proof. You will know. And you must act instantly. Do not confront them in public. Do not expose all you know at once. Instead, pull her away from their reach before they realize you are aware. This will confuse them, disrupt their timing, and give you space to dismantle the connection piece by piece. There is something else you must understand, the enemy is counting on silence between you and her. They believe the small secrets she has kept will grow into a wall that keeps you from seeing the full picture. That wall must be torn down, not with force, but with love so persistent it wears down every brick. And here is my promise to you, once she sees that you are not coming to control her, but to protect her, she will open the floodgates. And when she does, the lies they have been feeding her will dissolve. She will see their manipulation for what it is, and she will walk away without looking back. But I must warn you, there will be a final push from them before she fully lets go. It will be desperate, more aggressive than before, because they will sense they are losing their hold. Do not fear that moment. That is the sign that the battle is almost over. Hold your ground. Keep her close. Remind her who she is and whose she is. God says, I have already assigned angels to her side. They are walking with her into every place she steps, standing guard even in the places you cannot go. But your voice, your presence, your faith will be the human shield that keeps her anchored until the danger passes. This is why I told you not to delay. This is why I have been pressing you so hard. You are the one I chose to intercept this attack. If you move now, the plans will fall apart before they can even begin. If you want, I will continue with the next part, where I reveal how her destiny looks after this storm is over, and the exact blessings heaven is preparing as a sign of her deliverance. Would you like me to give that now? God says, listen closely now, because I am about to pull back the veil on what comes after this storm, and I want you to hold these words like a torch in the darkness. When this battle passes, and it will pass, the change in your daughter will be more than just safety from harm. She will walk with a confidence that can only be born from surviving an attack and seeing the hand of God in the middle of it. Right now, she does not yet see the full measure of her worth. She knows she is loved, but she does not yet realize how irreplaceable she is in my plan. When this is over, she will. I am going to awaken something in her spirit, a courage that has been dormant, waiting for the right moment to rise. She will stop questioning if she is strong enough, and she will start walking as if she knows heaven backs every step she takes. Her voice will change. Her eyes will change. Even the way she prays will change, because she will pray as one who has seen God move for her personally. And I will make this a sign for you. There will be a day, not long from now, when she will come to you, not to ask for help, but to tell you how she has helped someone else avoid the very kind of trap she almost fell into. That day will be my reminder to you that nothing is wasted, not the sleepless nights, not the tears, not the battle you are fighting now. God says, I am also restoring what the enemy tried to steal in secret. There are opportunities, connections, and blessings that were meant for her but have been delayed because of this distraction in her life. Once this chain is broken, those blessings will begin to flow again, and they will come quickly. Some will be so unexpected that you will know instantly they are my doing. And I will add this, I am going to give her a gift in this next season that will confirm to her that she is fully seen by me. It will be something so specific to her heart that she will have no doubt it came from my hand. It will feel like an inside message between me and her, because it will be. This victory will not only protect her present, it will secure her future. The people who are meant to walk with her will start to appear, and those who would harm her will be removed without her having to fight them directly. She will have peace where there has been pressure. She will have joy where there has been fear. But remember, the shift begins with you obeying what I have told you now. The timeline for her blessing depends on the timing of your action. This is why I keep saying, do not wait. Move. Protect. Speak. Cover her. And then watch as I turn what the enemy meant for harm into the very thing that makes her stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever before. God says, this message is your proof that I see it all and that I will not let the enemy win. You will not fight alone. You will not lose her. And when you look back, you will see that this was not just about saving her from danger, it was about positioning her for destiny. If you want, I can now continue with the next part, where God reveals the secret reason the enemy targeted her in the first place and the generational blessing she's about to inherit. Do you want me to go on? God says, now I will tell you the reason the enemy marked your daughter in the first place, because nothing in the spiritual realm is random. Attacks are not chosen without cause. The level of intensity she is facing is not because she is weak, it is because she is dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Long before she was born, I placed something in her spirit that no one else carries. It is not just talent. It is not just potential. It is a spiritual authority that will break chains over other people's lives without her even realizing it at first. When she speaks, there will be healing in her words. When she walks into a room, atmospheres will shift. She was born with a presence that calls light into dark places, and that is why the darkness tries so hard to intimidate her now. The enemy sees what she will become before she does. He has studied her bloodline, looking for weaknesses, patterns, and old wounds to exploit. He thinks that if he can bind her early, through fear, shame, false dependency, or misplaced trust, he can delay or even derail what I have planned. That is why this attack feels so personal, because it is. But God says, the enemy made a fatal mistake, he underestimated the strength of her covering, you. I placed you in her life not just to guide her, but to intercept blows she cannot yet see coming. I made you spiritually sensitive enough to pick up on danger before it arrives. Every unease, every random thought of checking on her, every dream that lingered in your mind, it was me preparing you for this exact moment. And here is what the enemy does not know, this very battle is unlocking a generational blessing. Because when you stand for her now, you are breaking a cycle that has tried to repeat itself in your family for generations. There were those before her who had great promise but were cut down early by wrong voices, wrong connections, or sudden storms. But in your obedience, that pattern ends here. I am releasing over her a protection that will extend beyond this season. Doors that were shut to others in your line will open for her. She will walk into opportunities without the delays they faced. She will find allies where they found opposition. And her victories will not just be hers, they will echo into the lives of those who come after her. God says, she will carry a double portion, her own calling and the unfulfilled blessings of those before her. This is why the enemy's desperation is so high. He is not only fighting her future, he is fighting to stop the restoration of your family's spiritual inheritance. But hear me, I will not allow him to win. My hand is already moving. The very thing that was meant to trap her will become the proof of my power. The very plan that was meant to destroy her will become the testimony that strengthens her voice. And the day will come when she will look you in the eyes and say, "Now I understand why you fought so hard for me." This battle is not a curse, it is the birth pangs of a destiny being activated. And you, my chosen protector, are the one ushering her safely into it. If you want, I can continue with the next part, where God tells you the specific signs to watch for in the coming days that will confirm this warning is unfolding exactly as He said. Do you want me to write that now?